I will never forget, I was standing in my kitchen as probably, I don't know, fourth or fifth grader, and my dad was there too. And he just said, "Hey, look at this." He had a pencil in his hand. All of a sudden he went like this, and it was gone. And I was just overcome with wonder and amazement. And ever since then, I've always loved magic shows. I went out and bought my own kit. I would study them. I would look them up. I don't still have that gift or that talent, so don't ask me to do any card tricks after Mass. But I've always loved going to see magicians because, and actually knowing how a lot of the tricks work makes it even more enjoyable for me because I'm like, there is still just that little inch in my brain that like, maybe he did just read someone's mind. Wow. Or maybe he did just make that card float. So, I've always loved magic. But Jesus is having another bad day at the synagogue because he's not doing any magic. He never does any magic. They're all real miracles. Everything that I just described that I see magicians doing is illusions. It's strings, it's glittery backgrounds that distract you from what their hands are doing. It's illusions. But it's still a two-way street. The magician does the illusions and the people react and applaud and ooh and ah. Can you imagine if a Newman student started to get pretty good at illusions and magic tricks? They would do birthday parties. They even played some of the major areas and theaters in the area. But then came to do a show at Newman. And all the parents and grandparents would say, that was just a string that you used. Hey, he didn't read that mind. He was told before the show. Or can you imagine his mom saying, "Yep, I remember when he was little, he used to do that kind of stuff. Yep, him and his sisters would tell the way the trick worked every time." And they started booing him, or not even applauding or not even being amazed. He's still doing the illusions and he's still doing magic, but there's really no point in going on in the show, so he'd just pack up and leave. The same but different is true for Jesus because he can't do any of his signs of faith because it wouldn't have the right effect on people's hearts. He is not doing illusions. He's not doing magic. He is actually doing miracles. He actually heals people. He actually multiplies the bread and the fishes, and he actually changes the bread and wine into his body and blood. But Jesus is not just doing magic tricks to impress people. He's not just doing this stuff for amazement. He is doing this stuff to change and convert their hearts. And so we have an opportunity right now in the Eucharist, because the show continues to go on every day, whether we have faith in it or whether we are amazed or whether we're offended at it like the disciples were. Jesus is going to continue to do this trick. He's going to continue to be there with us, whether our faith supports it or not. So we have the invitation to amaze him with our show of faith. Amen.